them apart, but now they're together. They're two wacky gringos in all kinds of weather. When it's sunny, they're funny. When it's rainy, they're zany. They're two gringos who sometimes do bits.
Yes, it's working. Good morning, evening, afternoon, day.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm actually, people may not realize it, but I'm very near you because I'm in your kitchen this week.
It looked familiar. I thought, that's my kitchen. What are you doing in my kitchen? Really?
Well, I was snacking. I had a few, a few bites out of a little knock from the fridge.
Why does it look way better behind you than it looks behind me? I don't get it. But, all right.
I see the world through rose-colored glasses. Maybe that's it.
You do.
You're sharing my vision.
That's great.
How you feeling today, Mike? How's your week been?
Well, I'm, making some plans to visit my daughter in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
In the near future, hopefully, being what it is with the, there's been a worldwide pandemic. I don't know if you've noticed that.
A what?
Well, yeah.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
It's the real thing, right? You're not just hoaxing me now.
Not a hoax.
Okay.
Not a hoax.
All right.
Not a hoax.
Cool.
I've been doing good. I've been thinking about why, I don't know if you ever went through this when you were a young child, young adolescent, let's say, I don't know, older than 10, younger than 14.
Yeah.
They sometimes you go to a class or you get a book about your body because you're going through changes. Your body's going through changes, like puberty, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going through changes now. I think I need another book, or we need. I think seniors need something explanation for what the hell is happening to us.
Is it like unpuberty or depuberty?
It's like, I don't know. It's like way post puberty.
It's just the book. Probably it's probably helpful and in the your body's going through some changes. You're going to start noticing hair in places that you didn't notice it before.
Exactly.
And now you're going to start noticing hair in places, and then you start losing hair in places that you had hair before.
Which was a big thing in puberty too, with the hair, changes in your body, hair, and now it's like hair disappearing. Yeah, the hair is disappearing.
Okay.
So, how has your week been?
My
kitchen.
Actually, I have a story that I forgot to tell last week.
Okay.
Well, two things happened that are interesting, kind of. I had to call the police on my neighbors.
Oh, no.
3:30 a.m., I wake up to screaming and yelling and louding and a lot of FUs. And so, I get up, I go over to the window. I'm trying to figure out which house it's coming from. I'm not really sure because it just echoes all over here. And then I hear a woman screaming, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then I hear bang, bang. I'm like, 911. I'm hearing screaming and maybe shots fired. I'm not sure which house it is, but I told them where I am. And I went outside, and there's a little balcony on the side. And it took about 20 minutes for the cops to show up. So if your life is really in trouble,
nice response time.
Yeah, really. But it is a giant city, right? And so I see that, I hear the siren. The cops pull up slowly, come up the street with their spotlight on,
Yeah.
And I wave them. I whistle, I wave, and I said, I think it's, I point out the house I think it's at. I'm not sure. Cops go up there. They talk to the people. A supervisor shows up as well, they're all walking real casual, no big thing. Like, if I'm going to a call and somebody says shots are fired, I might have my gun out. I might be ready, but now they're all mellow. They go and they talk a while. They, cops all come out. They have a little huddle, and then they drive over to where I am. And the one gets out and she says, yeah, they're just really, really drunk. You can smell the alcohol. on the way up to the house.
Okay.
And yeah, some knucklehead just lit a couple firecrackers is all it was. So
Oh,
the people
wow.
stopped, everybody lived, it was okay. But, it really struck me that I never have to do that in Boquete. I don't have to call the police on anybody.
But didn't you tell me a story once before of an intruder at a neighbor's house that you had to call the
Yeah,
cops?
that was our second week back here. Yeah, we've had more police activity since I've been here. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But, then the whole time I'm in Boquete. In December, will be coming up on 5 years. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be back by then. We'll be back before then. We're shooting for November. And the other thing I forgot to tell you, Mike, is we got our first negative comment on YouTube.
Oh.
I know. And it was very simple comment. Fuck off, old man.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, there's two of us. Which old man are you talking to? Come on. I think I'm going to answer him back. Dude, if you're watching, which one of us do you want to
pick one? Pick one.
Yeah.
We can take it.
Yeah. Apologize for the rude language, gentle viewers, but it's reality.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we bring our guest? We have a guest.
Yes, definitely. Bring our guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is an interesting individual. He's a raconteur, philanthropist, do-gooder, business guy, all-around swell dude. Mr. Steve Kaczor is joining us.
Steve Kaczor.
Steve, yes, the C is silent.
Yeah.
There he is. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Keep that C silent. That's what we always say.
Keep that C silent.
Nobody wants to hear the C.
Nobody wants to see.
My name Patrick. The Z is silent in Patrick. Few people realize there's a Z in it.
As it should be.
Yeah. My last name is Irish, actually. It's O'Schwartz, but you don't pronounce the O is not there. So
no.
Well, it's formerly or Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger, yeah.
He is Schwarzenegger.
Steve, how are you?
Oh, I'm not bad.
Thank you for joining us.
Getting a little
today.
bored with these weekend lockdowns, but back at the farm for one.
Did they ever lift those, or did they lift them and go back, or has it been locked down all the way through?
Soon to be lifted, I think. I don't think we're locked down on Saturday, are we, Steve? I'm not sure.
That's the last thing I heard, which was this morning at the gas station, that this Saturday is free. The first one for Cherokee.
Oh, okay.
Wow, okay. All right, cool.
Evidently, we're the bad province, the bad boy province of the country.
How have you been doing during this lockdown, Steve? Overall,
Oh, better than most. I think I'm lucky because I get to get away on the farm during the week, which is like in a park, and then I work at home on the weekend.
Okay.
With the family.
Yeah,
building a room for my daughter.
So, Steve, you should tell us about. Well, let's start with. We always start with how did you arrive here in Panama? That's
and how long ago?
Opening question.
It was my first visit was 12 years ago. This is my 11th year living here, and it was. I've been working for a decade in Central South America, Mexico, in the mango business. And I was asking people, because I had a little girl, where can you retire in Panama, and I mean Latin America, with a young daughter who was about to start kindergarten. And a good buddy said, Panama. And I mean, seriously, I laughed out loud because all I knew Panama was Noriega.
Yeah.
The Panama Papers. I think there was a book, but a month later, I was on another flight and I heard the same thing from a client. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And then the third time within 4 or 5 months sent me researching about Panama, and I booked a trip and fell in love.
Wow, cool. Was Boquete your first choice, or were you looking around at other spots?
I knew nothing, but as it turned out, Boquete was our last stop, partly because it looked like the most probable. But we went all over the country. I brought the kids with me, so I was traveling with 3 kids.
Wow. Wow. And are they all still in Panama with you now, or? Yeah,
Nope. I've got,
Spread out a little.
Sophia's here, about to graduate high school.
Nice.
Isabella was here from K through 10. She's finishing her last 2 years in California.
Oh,
And my son was never going to move here. He was already a chef in Seattle, and he still is.
oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Wow.
But he's tired of that now, so he's doing his electrician's journeyman program.
Do you still grow mangoes, or is coffee your thing now?
Yeah, just grow coffee. Never grew mangoes. I was just a person who helped a farmer get rid of the middlemen at the border.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Interesting.
So I set up a
mango facilitator.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
just a mango man.
The
Mango
mango
man.
man. If you want mangoes, I'm the guy to see.
Yes. Mango Man. I was getting into a superhero costume. Oh.
Just in case you think I'm making it up, I got proof right here.
Oh, the
Oh.
National Mango Board. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah,
Mango
there wasn't,
man.
but now there is.
Now there is. The national, which nation is that the National Mango Board
The
of?
USA, the USA was the first USDA sanctioned national commodity promotion board, where the majority of the growers were outside of the USA.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
How did you
So
get
was,
into that line of work, Steve?
That's a funny story.
Good. We
My
like
buddy was
funny
down in
stories.
Mazatlan, and he called me, and he said, "Hey, if I send you a couple of truckloads of mangoes, can you find a buyer?" So I ended up at the border, at the U.S.-Mexican border, which is just a cesspool at the time.
Uh-huh.
This was like right before NAFTA.
Were you in Texas or California?
Arizona, Mexico border.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, most
knew
of
there
the
was another
land
state
shipments
in
are through
there.
Nogales. And so I sold them both, but we lost money on both of them. And we warehoused with the guy who turns out to be the mango king of Mexico.
Oh, yeah?
And so when I told him we we're getting out of the business, he's laughing. He says, what about all your big talk? You said you were going to be big players and you were, all excited. And after just 2 truckloads, this guy was doing like a couple thousand a year. You're out? And we said, yeah, we figured out that the only people making money are the middlemen. And this man, the son of the mango king of Mexico, they have, like 1,200 hectares in Sinaloa mango. He said, tell me about it. But what would you do? I mean, if you were me, you just lost money on 2 loads. And we said, well, my recommendation would be to do some research and then take that to the buyers and tell them why they should stop buying from the brokers and buy direct from the orchard. And he laughed at me, and then he called me back 6 months later after another real horrible time and said, remember what you told me? Could you help us do that? And we did.
And you did.
Ah.
The rest is history.
So you got back into the mango business.
Mango.
Yeah,
Mango in, mango
mango.
out. That's magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but now it's just coffee at very low volume.
That's like the old joke of the retailer who loses money on every transaction, and they go, how do you do it? Volume.
You're making up in volume. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But so now you're in the coffee kind of business, right? You
Yeah, we would be a hobby farm.
a hobby farm? Yeah.
Hobby farm. Oh.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That keeps you busy, keeps you out of real trouble, right? Right.
Exactly. And I do some river conservation with the Nassau tribe on the Rio Toribe and Parque Internacional La Amistad.
Now you have a short film about that you did. Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that?
Yeah, just go to YouTube and Google Grandmother Water.
Grandmother Water. All right. I'll put a link on the YouTube channel underneath this video so people can check it out. Say it again for me.
Grandmother Water on YouTube.
Grandmother Water.
Grandmother
Okay.
Water. Right on. Right on.
So
Hey, I
for,
noticed that this was your 28th radio program
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool because my birthday is the 28th of this month and 28th episode.
Well,
Wow.
happy
I do
birthday.
one every week. Huh?
Yep.
Minds are blown.
I know. We've been doing this for 28 weeks.
28 weeks.
And that's
So I was
roughly
your
how long
28th choice.
What?
28 choice.
So I was your 28th choice.
Well, wait a minute,
I was in the
Steve.
top 30.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be here last week, so you were the
Yeah,
27th choice.
Yeah, see?
Don't
All
forget.
last week, but believe it or not, and it's true, the internet went out on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
the
buy
satellite.
that.
We have
We'll buy that
satellite
story.
telecom.
It happens there.
No one's gonna buy that story.
For people that don't know, Stephen has the most identifiable vehicle in Boquete. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
how
Lola.
that's how I know. Does it have a name?
Yeah,
Lola.
Your truck?
Lola. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
That's a
So you-
beautiful
Yeah, the mayor
So
one.
you
asked
see-
for Lola to be in the parade, but I said not till she's painted and pretty.
Oh, I think she's pretty
Which
the
will be
way she
soon.
is. Yeah.
What year is Lola? That's a vintage truck.
She's an 81. She'll be 40 next year.
An 81.
Wow.
It's a 81 Toyota. It's very cool. It's bright green. You can't miss it. Are
I got
you
that
with the,
from the original owner too. They
really?
used to use those. Most of the Land Cruisers that are here were old Panama Canal vehicles, and they would
Uh-huh.
sell them after so many years. But this one was bought by the guy that owns the gas station downtown. And then his family told him he shouldn't drive anymore because he was getting too old and dangerous. And so he sold it to me. Not sure that's an improvement.
Well, you're not that old, but you're kind of dangerous, you know.
That's what people say. I don't know why.
I don't know. You're a mild mannered dude, I tell you. Yeah, and you're actually my neighbor some of the time up in Los Naranjos there.
Every weekend, and
Yeah.
that's just because of quarantine. Usually I'm there 60% of the time.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
But
All right,
the farm
so
takes a
Stephen-
lot of time.
Stephen, we have a question we ask all our guests, okay? And I'll try to ask it. I don't know if I get it right all the time.
Well,
It's actually Patrick's question. So
yeah,
Patrick,
but you ask it.
okay, I'll ask it, but
Try
I
it.
forget part of it. What's the one thing that nobody told you about life in Panama that surprises you the most? Is that good?
That's pretty
Question?
much it.
Yeah.
You had to
yeah.
find out for yourself.
That you had to find out for yourself.
Yeah. Just pick one.
Well, to slow down and take it easy. I mean, that was always just a song until I moved to Panama.
Okay. So getting in the rhythm, the pace of life there, much slower than the big cities that everybody's used to, right? Much slower
Much
than
slower.
the U.S.
Right. And not to expect everything to happen like the snap of a finger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And to enjoy it because it's about the experience with the Panamanians. Why rush
Yeah,
it?
you know what? I don't like to to add on to that. Which there's a question about Panamanians I don't really understand. Is that the pace of life is very slow, but I'm from New York City where we have some of the worst drivers in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impatient and rude and everything. And I find here some of the drivers, they could fit right into New York City. I mean, the people, they have a very slow pace of life, but on the road, they're like, get it. Some of them, and not all, of course, it's not a generalization, but it's like, get out of my way, like I'm in a rush. In the car, they're
Yeah, they've seen all the movies. When you get in the car, you're supposed to be aggressive. They probably saw those
Yeah.
movies from New York.
I guess, yeah.
That's what it must be. I figured they're not really in a hurry to get somewhere. They just really like to drive fast when they get
They
the
like to drive
opportunity.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're blocking the way, you get the horn.
Well, I'm, not one to cast point a finger, but because I've had my share of bumper benders. But on my way home Friday, there were two cars off the road. One of them was on its side. And that was
Wow.
just this past Friday. But it was a big rainstorm.
Oh yeah.
Well, you do see, I think you see a lot more accidents here. I mean, I don't want to, badmouth the drivers or the roads or anything here in Panama, but there seem to be quite a few accidents
Well,
from time to time.
and you got to put it in perspective, kind of. I gather, and I've heard that, cars in Boquete really kind of, within the last 20 years or so, became popular. Before that, it wasn't as much of a thing, at least, according to things I've heard, stories from other
No, it's true. Even 5 years ago, you had to buy it cash. And about 5, 6 years ago, they started making car loans for the first time. So if you had a job, you could get a car. And then the number of cars doubled
Yeah.
within the last 6 years.
Okay. Yeah, see, and that kind of makes sense. And on the other hand, I mean, yeah, there's accidents there, but, I'm in Los Angeles right now. The first night I was here, I heard a pedestrian-involved accident out on the major road. I live just off of Topanga Canyon Boulevard here in the West Valley. Somebody got hit by a car the first night I was here. The third night I was here, there was another car accident, same intersection. There's nothing to complain about Panamanian drivers.
I'm not laughing because of that. It's a serious thing, but I'm wondering, Patrick, what is it about you that involves accidents and police? And Stephen, before you got on, Patrick told a story of a neighbor that he heard shots fired, and it turned out to not be shots, just firecrackers. But it was just like 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. Patrick seems to.
That's a good question.
But
what the hell are you doing in LA?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. On the other hand, none of that stuff happens to me in Boquete, right? So I'm looking forward to going back to a land where I never need to call the police on my neighbors.
When are you coming back?
We're shooting for end of next month. We got a few things that still have to be taken care of, and hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have a better idea on our timeline.
Yeah, I'm hoping this whole pandemic thing with all the protocols starts to wind down, because the massive amount of information that you need, like you need a test to get back a negative test, and
I know
it has to be within 48 hours. Some people are saying, or 96 hours, or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's 48.
Yeah,
it depends on the airline too, and which destination you're going to. If you're flying into Costa Rica, no, not good. They demand that you have insurance and a couple $1,000s, and if you're quarantined, it's on you. If you get quarantined in Panama City, they'll put you up, but not Costa Rica.
Well, pretty soon I've heard that they're going to provide everybody a test in Panama. That cool. I think that's the way they're going, where they're going to just give every person that arrives a test. But I'm not the source of news, so.
Well, Gabrielle flew to Boston in July to see her grandchildren, and she had to have a negative COVID test, ostensibly before she could get off the plane or get out of the airport. So we went, got the test. It was nice. We got the results back in 24 hours, and she flew. Nobody ever asked her for a test. Nobody ever asked her for the affidavit or anything.
I've heard that from other people.
Yeah. But it was fine. And when she came back, she got another test. They're getting even faster. Got the results back in 2 hours. Again, negative. So it's doable from here to there. It's doable. It's a little more hassle, but it's not terrible.
So, Stephen, let's get back to Stephen.
Yeah, let's talk about you, Stephen.
Pandemic.
What do you think of us?
Yeah.
Well, I think two guys with a great radio show. Shout out, and you might be the only two I know based from Boquete.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well.
That puts you in a very small club.
Very small. Yeah, there's a couple
very
of
small
people.
We're small fish in a small town.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of guys that got, one guy, one show, but you guys got two guys.
We have two guys.
See, there's two of us.
We got two.
There they are.
So we're twice as good because we have two.
Steve, I got a question.
It's like the amp that goes up to 11.
Yeah, this one louder. Yeah. What are you looking forward to, Steve, after the lockdowns, the shutdowns? What aspect of normal life are you looking forward to the most, if any?
Oh, well, the most. Well, just being able to be out in public on the weekend. My wife only has Sundays off, so Saturday night's our night. Locked down for 6 months. Suffice it to say, it's not been, I mean, I don't want to say that they're not hot dates, but they're home dates. There's no dancing, there's no live music, there's no fine dining, no champagne. It's like,
Maybe
well,
we
who's
can get-
cooking, you or me?
Maybe we can get Mike Weber to come over and play some music, set up the big speakers. He'll
That
wear
would be
the
awesome.
mask. And somebody
Yeah.
give Mike a call. Anybody?
I think that's the one thing that I mean, you're not alone, Steve. Everybody is in the same condition. I mean, we're waiting for things to do, for things to get back to normal, and here we are talking about this stupid pandemic again.
Well, you know,
tears.
What can
It's
you
a
do?
whole lot better than talking about politics.
Yeah.
There's
We don't want to
two
do
things
that.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
We don't want to do that.
We're not going to do that. There's two things, though, are dominating the consciousness of the world, and it's the pandemic and the politics. And
Yeah.
we love talking about everything else.
Beautiful.
Everything else.
Yeah.
So what else is there to talk about, Steve?
Yeah, what else?
Well, there's the beaches that are just waiting for us, and I'm
Waiting.
told that we can go now to the beach.
So let's talk about coffee, because that's, about coffee. How does every year the coffee is like different, right? It's not like the same. I mean, there's good quality, but it kind of varies every year. Is that true? Or
Yeah, the volume varies every other year. It's cyclical. So
Yeah.
last year we had a big crop. This year we'll have a smaller one. It's like the trees need a little rest.
oh,
But then the quality, that's volume. Quality depends a lot on the weather. And this has been a more normal year than the last two. So I'm looking for, although it's our low volume year, good quality this year.
yeah. Oh,
Very
good.
nice. Okay,
Good,
cool.
good.
And do you sell your coffee, yeah?
Yeah, we sell it locally. We export it to the US, Japan,
Okay.
Germany.
Are you,
But we don't have much. We just,
here's a
Well,
we
question.
could almost sell it all here.
Are you one of the coffee growers? Here in the States, Trader Joe's sells Boquete coffee. And I had heard that the coffee comes from an aggregate of farms around Boquete, different farms. Are you one of the sellers in that? Are you?
No, never. We used to sell a lot of mangoes to Trader Joe's, but
Yeah.
they were, in my experience, they were usually always looking for the fire sale deal.
Yeah.
They're not buying at
Wow.
the top of the market. They're buying at the bottom.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I get that.
But they're not buying any shit. But they're buying good shit as cheap as they can get it.
Exactly. And most of the time, stuff there is pretty reasonably priced. So.
Yeah, it's like, but the thing is that with Trader Joe's, you can go month to month and you won't see the same things, and that's the reason. They're flexible. They don't feel they have to carry something all the time.
Right.
That's
long
the
as
Trader
it's-
Joe's secret.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
as long as it's a sweet deal, Joe will trade it.
The rule there is don't get addicted to anything that Joe's got because he may run out.
And if you're a vendor, don't get addicted to them buying your stuff, because
Yeah.
as soon as you try to raise the price,
You're done. You're out. Oh man,
Yeah.
It sounds like Walmart like that too. They're like that.
well, they're not quite that bad.
I almost had some dealings with them in the past, but when I had a business and I had a product that we were trying to get into stores and stuff, and they were basically like, nah, if you don't make this in China, we're not going to sell it. We're not going to deal with you. So,
And
whatever.
Walmart or Trader Joe's?
Walmart.
Oh yeah, we were the first tropical fruit, foreign-based tropical fruit grower to make a vendor alliance agreement, which means we watched online the inventory on their warehouse floors, on the distribution centers where we were managing, and we were responsible for keeping them full with properly ripened fruit. Talk about mission impossible.
Yeah.
But they had a little clause in the agreement called the special buying. In other words, if we get a better deal, we'll honor our contract with you. But if we get a better deal, then we have the right to exercise a special buy outside of our contract. But of course, we had no such reciprocal right.
Wow. Wow, that's
You know those
that's-
mangoes we were going to send you? Oh, well, we got a better deal. Sorry, we're going to send them to somebody else. No, we couldn't do that, but they could.
Wow.
But they can go, yeah, I was going to buy your mangoes, but somebody else got some cheaper ones. So tough luck, Charlie. See ya.
Yeah, it's a special deal.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
True
okay.
story.
All right.
It's so
Well,
tough for the
Steve-
small guy, the small business person.
True,
Yeah.
sad but true.
Very,
The-
very
the-
tough.
The real deal is that the small business guy has a much harder time playing with the big guys because they don't want you. They're
Much
happy
harder.
doing what
Much
they,
harder.
doing
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
do.
I was like, I think I had the smallest business in the United States. No, I had a little business, and I went to a lot of trade shows and things like that, and you just know right away. I mean, you have like the badge, and you have a company nobody's ever heard of.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like, and they're all like, and as soon as they see somebody else, they run away from you, and go to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You don't
It's
know the
tough.
secret handshake.
Yeah.
You
Well,
gotta-
the secret handshake is to make millions of dollars in whatever way possible.
and make sure there's some bills in that handshake, the sly tip maneuver. Steve, you're an interesting man about town, je ne sais quoi sort of dude. It's, you're
I can be taken either way.
I can see you. I recognize you from about 2 or 3 kilometers away because you got the biggest smile, and it shines bright. I see it coming, man. It's always great to run into you on the street or at the Cabalgata. Last Cabalgata, we shared a couple beverages and enjoyed the
That was
horse.
a great photo because we were just passing at the time and you snapped one. I didn't even remember it. And the next day, wow, that guy's a great photographer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Steve has a big smile, and also I'm going to reveal a little secret. That's something that we have in common. That Steve, you told me this. I don't even know if you remember, but Steve was also a drummer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Steve
Wow.
used to play
Twice.
the drums.
Twice?
Twice.
Well,
Once in a band in high school called Brio, rock and roll standards, Bob Seger, Journey. That was early 80s. And once in a Congo, I was the Congo drummer in a salsa band at Arizona State University in Arizona.
wow.
Cool. Wow.
Dude,
That was
maybe,
fun.
maybe Michael.
But I
let
was
us
only
do
allowed
it
to do 3
sometime.
songs. When the guy was on break, I could do these same 3 songs. And then I would always say, that was so much fun. Why don't you let me have the next set? No. But then when we would do after hours at one of the band members' house, and they would let me do other songs, but not on stage, never more than
Cool.
those 3.
Well, maybe Michael let you sit in. It was still kicking sometime.
Yeah.
I would love that. He probably would have to use earplugs.
Well, we're still in
Well.
negotiations to have Still Kickin' become the Two Bit Gringos house band.
Oh yeah. That can.
studio
I
band.
think we can
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah, we'll make that
Possibility.
happen.
Well, Steve, it's been great having you. Our time is winding down.
Yeah, we're just
I
about.
believe
Wow,
so.
this half hour flew by.
It just
Well,
flew
that's good
by.
to hear.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're in the
yeah,
top 30.
Thanks, Michael.
You're in the top 30 of guests.
indeed.
Oh man,
Hey, you know-
I can't.
You know
I
what
can't
you
wait
did
to
to
get
us
the
now?
top 25.
It's going to be hard now to get guests in the future because they're going to go, hey, how come we're not in the top 30? You know, what's
I know.
going on?
Yeah, what made you think of us after all those other people?
I try to get guests lined up for a couple of weeks in advance. Sometimes I fail. Sometimes I don't get them lined up until like Sunday. But I've been trying to do a better job of getting people in the pipeline. So I think we have some exciting guests lined up for the next couple of weeks.
You're doing a great job.
Why,
Patrick.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
I
Steve,
enjoy
it's
your
been
show.
great
And
having
thanks
you,
for
buddy.
inviting me.
Hey, you have
Thank
a
you,
great week.
Stephen Kaczor.
Stephen
C is silent.
Kaczor.
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 Yeah, that's dead. C is dead. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
No C.
But it's Kaczor.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, kids. We're out. You have a great week, everybody.
Great week.
You guys take care.
Thanks.
All right.